Let's just do one more, page 230. Mind Training, the Great Collection. Public explication of mind training. Your omniscient mind ruled by compassion, you are immersed in the single taste of others' welfare. To you, all teachers descended from Maitreya, the Buddha's chief son, I prostrate with a joyful mind steeped in faith. I shall present here the essential structures that opens the great treasure of goodness that is the source of happiness. The awakening mind that is the foundation of all Mahayana paths, the exchanging of self and others, the teaching of all great teachers, the teaching revealed by the perfectly enlightened Buddha, the three turning of the wheel of Dharma, the 12 branches of sacred scriptures, the three scriptural collections, the great and lesser vehicles, and within the great vehicle, the mantra and perfection vehicles, since these are the very paths realized by himself and taught to others out of great compassion. They are all well spoken sacred words. The elucidations by Maitreya and others of the intent of the scriptures constitute the commentary of advertises. Two key points constitute the essential subject matter of all these scriptures to bring about cessation of self and to cherish others. In terms of vehicles, the first is embodied by disciples and self-realized one vehicles, while the second encompasses the great vehicle. In terms of implementing these, there are two systems, one based on the mantra system and other on the perfection vehicle system. For the practice and latter, Master Atissa possessed three traditions. The first was received from Dharmarakshita, who remained a novice monk, but due to the force of his compassion gave away parts of his own body by slicing them off. He followed the ornament of sutras by Master Asvaghasa for instructions on reasoning. For scripture's authority he relied on the garland of the three Jews. Neither of these works was translated into Tibetan. The master said, his mode of embarking on the path was by means of the Four Noble Truths. His philosophical views accorded with the Vaibhasika of the disciples' vehicle. In his traditional meditation practice, the master said one practices equalizing self and others right from the start. The teacher did not speak of the lineage of this first tradition. The second tradition stems from Manjusri and was received from the teacher Maitri Yogi, known as such because he was always meditating on loving kindness, Maitri. He is the junior Kusali. The one legend says bore the marks when a dog was being beaten with a stick. He relied on the Agasagarba Sutra for his scriptural authority, while for his methods of analytic reasoning he followed the companion of trainers. His mode of embarking the path replied on the sutras. His philosophical standpoint accorded with sound tantrica school, while his system of meditation is the same as the previous traditions. The third tradition stems from Maitreya and came through the teachers Sir Lingpa. His scriptural authority was the teachings of Vimalakirti Sutra, while his method of analytical reasoning followed levels of the Bodhisattva. His philosophical standpoint shared affinities with even non-Buddhist schools. His mode of embarking on the path was through entering the perfection vehicle. In his tradition of meditation practice, one practices exchanging self and others right from the start. Thus, of these three traditions, with their distinct lineages, their last tradition stems from Maitreya, and was transmitted from Maitreya to Asanga, Vasubandhu, and Shiramati through the Sir Lingpa. As for its scriptural source, the teachings of Vimalakirti Sutra states, egoistic view of this perishable composite is the seed of the Tathagatas. Further, it states, even if you generate an egoistic view perceiving the perishable composite of the size of a mountain, the awakening mind will still arise, and from it will evolve the enlightenment qualities of a Buddha. As for reasoning level of the Bodhisattva states, if a Bodhisattva departs to a place of solitude and with the pure motive through dedication, raising interest from the depths of his heart in the diverse objects of giving, vast immeasurable, and engaged in giving them to sentient beings, he will enhance his merit immeasurably with minimum difficulty. This is because a Bodhisattva is endowed with great wisdom. His philosophical affinity with non-Buddhist schools does not suggest a certain perception of the physical conception of self. Rather, it indicates that is on the basis of innate self-grasping which arose as the fear of suffering, single existence, and good recognition of one's moderate great kindness, that thoughts such a loving kindness arise. This is why the egoistic view perceiving the perishable composite is called the seeds of the Tathagatas. When asked why he always wept whenever he thought of this teacher sending Pa, Atisa stated, what little piece of the good heart I may possess is due to the kindness of this teacher. Embarking the path by entering the perfection of vehicle is as follows. First, as a result of exchanging self and others, cultivate familiarity with the method aspects of the path. Once this becomes stable, then practice wisdom. Atissa's lamp for the path states, whosoever cultivates wisdom thoroughly through familiarity with the method, he will swiftly attain enlightenment, but not through meditating on no self alone. Thus, it is the power of instruction, the perfection of wisdom teachings that lead you on the path, the Master said. This fifth instruction was given by Master Atsuya to Geshe Drongtongpa, alone and no one else. Drongtongpa asked Atsuya, how is it that you gave this and this and that teachings to Ku, and others why you are giving this to me? Atsuya said, to have replied, apart from you, I have found no one to whom I could give this. Geshe Drongtongpa Chu did not give this to anyone else other than Potova, who in turn did not give this to anyone else other than Sharava in Lingri Tangpa. The great Shikawa possessed deep devotion to Dharma ever from childhood, and he had received many teachings while still a layman. He became a monk and entered the Geschobar monastery at Niao, and there he received many teachings. At Yarlung, he received commentaries on the Compendium of Higher Knowledge about 7 times from the two Nyek brothers. Together with the Geshe Nyek, he listened to Yagyepa's teachings on the order on 2 separate occasions, but he failed to discover its exact sources. Then he asked Nyalpa Yonten Sherapa, a student of Rangri Tangpa, what kind of knowledge his spiritual teacher possessed, and learned that he possessed mind training. Although Nyalpa was a student of Rangri Tangpa, it appears that he lacked his teaching. So there at Niao he Chigeva heard the 8 verses of Langripa Thangpa traditions from Niang Chakshinwa. This too caused Chikava to develop admiration for the Kadam liners, the master said. That's it.